So ready for class.
There you go.
So last meeting, that was last week, long time. Okay, you remember what we're speaking about? Oh, I remember. That time, when we were talking about anarthas, you know, anarthas, they result in obstacles to bhakti.
Yeah.
And I was making this point that the very, like, the most difficult obstacle is caused by anarthas from aparadha. And that brings us to the discussion now, you know, like aparadhas. So, when I was mentioning Madhurya Kanambini, there's that chapter on Anartha Nivrtti. You know, like how these anarthas are being purified. In what stages of bhakti they're being purified. So there are four types of obstacles according to the anarthas that causes them. So there's, you understand?
Yes.
There's obstacles. Yeah, there's obstacles from the anartha coming from sukriti, or anartha from duskriti, you know, or pious activities or like sinful activities, or anarthas from bhakti, arising from bhakti. Because as soon as we mentioned that, as soon as you begin to engage in bhakti, then, you know, like, you become famous, you get respect, and like that. So then it makes some anarthas, and then that becomes another obstacle. And then there's obstacle created from anarthas that arise from aparadha. So then in Madhurya Kanambini, in the chapter of Anartha Nivrtti, I just thought it's interesting to include this in our discussion. It says that there are like 5 levels of how these anarthas are, like, you know, being removed. Because these anarthas don't just like, wait, can you turn off that switch? Yeah, no, the last one, the left. Yeah. So this, there are 5 levels. So one is, come, you're late. Inside, sit down. Let me look at here and I was looking at last time for that, for them, but I don't want to waste time, so I couldn't find it. But now I found it. But okay, let me see if I find it again. Okay, so here, I think so. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, so we're talking about like the levels of like how anarthas are like gradually diminished. So one is it says like partial, just like in the very beginning, and they gave, just to give us an example of how much it's diminishing something. It's like when you have a $1, that's like 2 cents or 4 cents, you know. It's like 2% really, 4%, less than 5%, but something already, and that's in the very beginning. And so it says that in those obstacles arising from pious and impious activities, duskriti and sukriti. Okay, it's not even here. How's that? There's partial. Then after partial, there's pervasive. Pervasive meaning now like there's a good amount like removed. And to give us an idea, that's like around like 60-75%, like this. It's like a very good amount. Okay, now let's just look at the levels first before understanding how much what particular type of obstacle from an anartha is, in what stage of bhakti is removed. like this. So then there is the stage called almost complete. So there's pervasive, so that's like up to like 75%, right? But there's like almost complete. So that means like maybe like 90 or or even like 95%, like that. And then there's the complete, which is like 100%. But there is a possibility for it to come back. That's the complete. But then there is such thing as called absolute complete, which there is no possibility of it coming back. Okay, so then, according to the anarthas now, so it says that for the sinful activities and the pious activities, from that anartha, the obstacles there, it says when you in bhajan kriya, stages, right? Shraddha, then sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, then anartha nivritti. So this is like from the chapter of anartha nivritti actually. Then nishtha. So nishtha is like, it is said that nishtha, anartha has already been removed, but not everything anartha. So now he's explaining actually. So he said by bhajan kriya, this duskriti and also like sukriti, urta anarthas, they're already almost complete, just in bhajan kriya. Almost complete meaning that's not pervasive. Pervasive is like 60%, but almost complete, that's already like 90%, right? So of all, this is like the easiest to remove these obstacles from pious and sinful activities. And in the stage of nishtha, it says it's complete. Complete, that means 100%, but there's some possibility to come back. Meaning, there's possibility for maybe some anarthas of that sort, and maybe come back. Then ruchi, the stage of ruchi also complete, but the stage of asakti, absolute. No more like possibility like coming back.
What is the possibility to come back?
You perform sinful activities, it makes like anarthas, like obstacles, right? These obstacles, they block your bhakti. So when you say it's complete, there's no more obstacles. But because that anartha has been removed, those anarthas from that source. But then when you say there's possibility of coming back, that means there's some possibility of because you're still doing some pious activities, or maybe your sinful activities before have some little smell like this that then it can drag you, some possibility only, and mostly really not. You understand? There's
It means I can.
You can do again.
Again.
You can do it again. Possible to do it again.
And it can block again.
Yes. Possible to go back. Okay. You're already 100%, but possible to go back. But see, this kind is not so dangerous because at the stage of asakti, not anymore possible to go back. That kind of anartha.
Yeah.
Okay.
In stage Nishta or Ruchi, you can come back again to.
It may come back, but it's complete. Yeah. It can come back to how your stage in bhajan kriya where you're struggling from that anartha. Not struggling, but some.
You can lose Ruchi and Nishta.
No, it's not see. These are not the only anarthas. There's other anarthas also. But Vishnu Sarvadagur very systematically he's analyzed these things. Now, for this particular anartha, he's just showing that they're gone by the stage of asakti. The anarthas coming from bhakti, he's saying that when you do bhajan kriya, when you begin bhajan kriya, then that is partial. Like partial. Like very little coming. Because really this anartha from bhakti coming from when you start bhakti. You start bhajan, and then that begins. Then at that time also like partial like removing. And then at the stage of nishtha, it's complete. Like gone. In the stage of nishtha, that anartha coming from bhakti also gone. Meaning at that stage, there may be like people, like respecting you, but it will not affect you like that. But there's still possibility. It's complete, but it's not absolute. That's in the stage of nishtha. But in the stage of ruchi, then I said that's absolute. No more possibility like coming back. Then, what's the last word? From aparadha. When I said those anartha from aparadha, bhajan kriya, that is partial. Partial meaning like 2 to 4%. According to. Then at the stage of nishtha, then it's pervasive. Okay, like something already. It's a stage of ruchi, pervasive. Meaning it's still a big amount. See, in nishtha and ruchi, pious activities and sinful activities, the anarthas from that already complete. But in aparadha, they're pervasive. That means most of the anarthas, like in the stage of nishtha and ruchi, that's all mostly from aparadha. Because already from sukriti and duskriti, they're gone. But now you're suffering some anarthas. What you're suffering now, let's say you attain the stage of nishtha and even ruchi, you're still struggling from some anarthas. You have to understand that anarthas is coming from aparadha. Not from anarthas from sinful or pious activities. And not also from bhakti. Because already by those anarthas from bhakti, it's complete in the stage of nishtha. And especially in the stage of ruchi, absolute. Understand? So he said, when you reach asakti, it's still pervasive. It's not yet complete. And only when you reach the stage of bhav, rati, after asakti, then you say the stage of rati or bhav. This is a very high stage. In the stage of rati, that is the time when you actually begin to experience your sthai bhav, your permanent mood of relation to Krishna. That is actually a ray of prema now, like this. Only at that stage, then it says almost complete. The anarthas from aparadha is almost complete. Not even complete yet. No, bhav, rati. Like this. So he said, in the stage of rati, it's almost complete. It's not even complete yet. So in that stage, there's still really big possible, some amount of really going down again, So he said, okay, then you reach prema. When you reach prema, then that's complete. And take note, when you say complete, there's still possibility of coming back. And he said, it only becomes absolute when finally you attain your vastu siddhi. Now you enter into the pastimes of Krishna and directly you're serving him, and you enter in the eternal world. That time it's atyantiki, like absolute. So you can understand this aparadha causes so much. This is the main obstacles. Like this. So now we're now talking about the process of Harinam. And this is the main process of bhakti. Yes.
So what kind of aparadhas are exactly those that so difficult to give up?
So now that's why we're discussing this now, like this. We're discussing this. There's Madhurya Kanavini. It says, okay, when you say aparadha, So then there's many kinds of aparad. But I said, seva aparad, this is not like very major. Like seva aparad, like mostly for services to Krishna, like this, on your service. He said that's easy to remove also, because just by chanting, they be removed. But when you say aparad, mostly that's nam aparad, because that's like directly to Krishna. Like you're doing seva aparad again and again because you think I will just chant Harinam, I'll be free like this. That's one of those. But the most grievous like offense, that's what we started discussing last time. The number one of the 10, there's 10 nam aparad. No, number one is what? Sadhu Ninda, blaspheming the sadhu, like this. So, and see, Sadhu Ninda, that's one of the Vaishnava aparad. We're talking about Vaishnava aparad, like 6 types, right? Last time, and criticizing, like, yeah, that's one of them. So Sadhu Ninda. But first we were discussing, so who's sadhu? Who's a devotee? What is the description of a devotee? Otherwise, if you don't know, then how can you determine also? So that's why, okay, there are like intrinsic or internal, and then the extrinsic, the external or the neutral. You remember? What is the main quality of a sadhu?
Surrender.
Yes, he has already fully like taken shelter of Krishna. He has surrendered to him, right? That is the main characteristic. Without that, then you cannot call him sadhu. He may have all the other like qualities, and there's like 25 like other qualities, like he's expert, he's like kind, compassionate, and like that. In this world, so many also this available. You can see many like people, they have these qualities, but they have no surrender to Krishna. So he said that someone who has already surrendered to Krishna, that is the internal quality. Okay, so this internal quality can be there whatever like position in society you are, whether you're a householder or like grihastha, like this. And this is the main like basis. And it says that one who has really taken shelter of Krishna, that means he has fully taken shelter of Harinam, because he knows Krishna and Nam are different. And that person, he said, has no this propensity to criticize also. He has no faith in all other processes, gyan, karma, and like that which is nothing to do with bhakti. So he said, like the amount of like purity of a person is based, like you can base on how much he has attachment to Nam, like this, because that is really the basis of how he's like he's surrendered, and now he's attached to Krishna, to Nam. What?
What if his attachment more transferred to Vaishnavas, but less for now? Like
You have to understand.
if he's free from seva and like taking all responsibilities of Vaishnava, then he's chanting, otherwise he's just how Prabhuji was doing.
See, like, listen, when you talk of Vaishnavas or someone attached to Vaishnavas, the only reason they're attached to Vaishnavas is because they're attached to Nam. Vaishnavas are attached to Nam, like that. Like, like someone dear to you is also like dear to like someone who's dear to you. Like it's like the nature of love. What is dear to you is also dear to like someone who's affectionate to you. Understand? So someone who's trying to already surrender to God, automatically they associate with sadhus, because the sadhus, they're the ones bringing them closer to Nam and making them surrender more. You understand? So like, okay, I have decided to surrender to Krishna, and automatically that this is one of the suggestion of Haridas Thakur. He said like, okay, necessary to have very good association, and those sadhus who are attached to Nam, you serve them like that. And then this is the process of like bhakti. Bhakti is coming only from those sadhus who have bhakti. Bhakti doesn't come from anywhere else in this world. Really, that's how bhakti comes. Bhakti is coming from bhakti. And where is it coming from? From the heart of those sadhus. Like this. So, now, you come in contact with the sadhus, you associate with them. Your attachment to them is actually based on that. If the attachment is differently, now you attach to the physical form of the sadhu is very beautiful, and you want to enjoy, that's not related to bhakti. That's that's like an example of pratibimba, like faith. It's not based on like real faith on the sadhu as like a giver of bhakti, but you have that desire for sense gratification. So it could be like that. Oh, you're attached to some sadhu because so beautiful, like this, or they're very wealthy, like this, or they have nice facility. So then it's either sense gratification or liberation. Or you want to be free from suffering, I say stay with the sadhu, like that. So they may appear to have faith, but that faith is not real. But sadhus are also very powerful. By their association, they will purify that person, and that reflection, faith, can become a shadow. That's possibility. Understand? So then that by constantly, staying with the sadhu, then his heart purified. What is in the heart of the sadhu, that bhakti then will be transmitted in his heart, like this. And then he begins to become like the sadhu also. And then he begins to become compassionate, and then he helps other people also. Later, when he becomes really pure, then he becomes one like the sadhu also. And then, so that's how like the process of bhakti is going on in this world, like that, like waves. You understand? So, now back to what I was wanting to say, that the amount of purity, as far as like how much is surrendered and how much he has attained this, the heart of the sadhu and becomes perfect, that is really determined by how much you have attraction to name, how much you have this love for the name, like this. Not like he's a brahmachari, or he's born as a Brahmin, like this. Not all those external things. Understand? Like this. So it said that whatever position in life, the intrinsic quality is always there, remaining. So like Haridas, he was mentioning example. Look at Raghunath Das Goswami. In his life, you can see how he's perfect householder. One time when he came to Mahaprabhu and he asked for, I want to be with you. I want to leave my family, right? And so then Mahaprabhu told him, like, don't be like a monkey, like Markat Vairagya, don't renounce like a monkey. You understand that? You know this one time?
Basically, he was Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, Mahaprabhu said like right now, like this is not the time. He said now, don't renounce like a monkey. Go back, family. Don't be mad. Go to family. Do your duties as a householder, but quietly on your own, do your bhajan, like this. So Mahaprabhu was like telling him like, okay, the duties of like householder. So in that particular example, he's showing, and for that time he was doing his duty. He's helping his parents with their like business, but on his own he's continuing his bhajan. He learned from Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur would visit him all the time. Also, Advaita Acharya sometimes would visit his father and brother, uncle, and so what they taught him, he was doing quietly like that. But of course, later on we know that again he became mad, and then when he found out Mahaprabhu was in Puri, then he wanted to go there. Of course, he cannot escape. So then the only time he was able to escape only after when he met Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda blessed him, So, but before that, Haridas Thakur is giving an example. Okay, like householder, they may engage in like business or others, like that. But if they're doing bhajan and they have this surrender to Krishna, then they have to be considered sadhu. Because that's the internal quality. That's the real symptom of the sadhu. Understand? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, for example, he's a householder. And yeah, we know how he's fully surrendered to Krishna. Yes.
And just ask, for example, practical thing.
Yes.
Let's say devotee comes to Krishna consciousness, and he stays with like his guru for some time, and then he decides, oh, I want to go to marriage. But then why would he do that if he surrendered? Like, if he could just stay with his guru, and like, why would he like go to marriage? Is it not the sign of not fully surrendering?
Also, see, in one's life, there are some stages. For some, they're like in the time of Jagannath Babaji Maharaj. There's some devotees. There are still some this like attachment, and they have this tendency to, or they have this desire for family and like this. So instead of like forcing themselves, like, okay, I have to be renounced like that, because if you're forcing, then you become like this monkey renunciant. You'll be like these monkeys. You're like an imitationist, and you're just forcing yourself.
But before we talked about that, you stay with sadhu and he can change your heart.
Yeah, but like sadhus, they can see, like right now, you have this desire, but you can redirect that desire. So he said, okay, here you go, no harm, you can marry, and then during the time, you help, like you have a wife, your kids, but then you will see how it is, how to be in family life. You're suffering so much. Then you realize, oh, I'm so stupid, like this. But, yeah, it could have been easier if you're a brahmachari. But you have all these desires. So sadhu, they can also see you're struggling. And they will not force you. Like, oh, no, you have to be like brahmachari and like this.
But sometimes
so then,
saying, no.
yeah, because that could be their special affection. And also they can see, like, you can do. It's not that much. Because sadhus, they have vision, like, okay, you can do. It's just, this is a temporary, like, sometimes things are like, it's like a weather. Sometimes, mood is like this, so agitated. But sometimes they can see some person really, he has this, like, this desire, like this. Or it could be for something other reason. Maybe not even, like, he's attached or he has this desire. Sometimes sadhu can say, like, oh, you get married and like this. And there could be some special mission for doing that. And a surrendered, he will accept that. And he will engage his duty, but even without any attachment. Like this. Understand? So, what I'm saying is, whatever position in society he is in, main thing is, if he's surrendered, then he has to be accepted as sadhu. Understand? Okay, so then later on, what's an example of someone who's renounced? Again, Raghunath Goswami. Like a sannyasi, duties of sannyasis. Because later on, when he met, when he left his family, finally was able to escape, and he went to Mahaprabhu in Puri. We know how, like, he was running from his place in what is that place in Bengal, where his place, his village, and running to Puri, 12 days. Usually from Bengal to Puri would take like a month walk. So like Shivananda Sain and like other devotees, they would be walking for a month to reach Puri, bringing all their gifts and like that, presentations from Mahaprabhu, because they're gonna join Rath Yatra. But Raghunath Goswami, that time he was escaping. He was not going main way also. He's going by the forest because his parents have soldiers, and searching. His parents intercepted the group of Shivananda Sain. They were thinking like he's with him, but he was not with him. They didn't even know. So anyway, when they arrived, they already saw, Raghunath is there. Because he was there already after 12 days. And of course, Mahaprabhu very welcome him. This time, Mahaprabhu did not tell him I told you not to renounce, stupid, like that. No. Mahaprabhu knows that this is the time. And he was, actually Mahaprabhu also told him that, Krishna is so merciful. Now he has he has freed you from the stool of material life, like a material family life. And anyhow, what time now? How many more minutes?
It's 50 now. 50 minutes.
So we stop? There's still a few minutes left. Or
Finished topic.
Okay, so Raghunath Goswami, then he asked Mahaprabhu what is his duty now that he has renounced, and Mahaprabhu gave him this advice. Yes, don't listen to mundane talks, and worse than that is you yourself speaking. And then don't eat palatable, rich food, And worse than that, trying to make yourself attractive, like this, wearing nice clothes like this, trying to make yourself, attract people, like that. And then this is external. You have to understand external and internal. That's external. Internal, Mahaprabhu said, all the time, chanting Nam,
Yes.
and chanting Nam, not desiring respect, and always respectful to others. Chanting Nam, but by mind serving Radha Krishna in Braj, like this. That is the internal. That's your internal activity, like this. So Mahaprabhu was giving outline. Okay, this is your duty. So duties can differ. Householders, they have their duties, different duties. Renouns have their different duties, but the internal activity is same. It begins with surrender. Okay, we'll stop here. We continue. Jai Shri Gurudev.